Hello, my name is Cal Eustician. This is going to be a part of my workshop using technology, using Screencast, to give you a little brief insight on Insight 360. This is going to be just one of multiple segments that I'm going to put together on a website for you, but this is going to be the tab on how to add a class roster to Insight 360 so you can use it for educational purposes, whether it's a clickers, Mobies, wireless devices in the room, and so forth. But this is kind of like the basic. You need to have the class in there before you can start using it. So this is my first tutorial over Insight 360, how to add a class roster. The first thing you need to do is actually use Skyward, which is our educational based software program that we use for grading. We're going to use Skyward to generate a report. Many of you have been doing this for many years, but I'm just going to go over it just in case there's any confusion on how to run a report through Skyward. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to create a class roster. This is going to save us time from entering them into Insight 360 one by one student, entering the student's name, ID, and so forth. This is much quicker. It's going to save you a ton of time. Just a reminder here, you got to go into the Reports tab, okay? And on the drop-down menu, you're going to go down to Class Roster. Now, Class Roster is down a ways. It's not going to be on the screen right here because I'm covering up students' names just for their privacy, so you can't see it. But as you go down, there's going to be multiple. It's going to keep on going down past grade book, but you get to the bottom down here, you're going to see Class Roster. And you're going to want to click on that. Once you click on Class Roster, this is going to come up. The CPS is the file, the template that you're going to want to use to run this report. It's going to shoot out a student's last name, first name, and then their ID. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and click Export to Excel. It's going to take a minute to run, and it's going to open up an Excel worksheet for us. Alright, you have the Excel spreadsheet open, alright, and you can see here it tells you the course and everything like that. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually delete all the titles, column headings, the date, all the stuff up top. All you want down here are your students' names and their IDs. So we're going to go ahead and delete all those. Alright. The problem with the program is that it doesn't recognize the first and last name when they're in the same column. So what we're going to have to do is separate the last and the first name into two separate columns. In order to do that, we need to insert a blank column. So if you right click and go down to insert, you will now have two columns. Alright. Now we need to split up that column. In order to split up the column, what we're going to do is we're going to highlight the students' names, first and last together. We're going to go up to the Data tab and click on Text to Columns. Delimitated should have been already preset. We're going to click Next. Alright. Notice that the names are separated by a comma, not a tab. So we're going to go ahead and uncheck the tab and click the column, since that's the way they are separated. And you can see, click Finish, and now we have our first and last names separated. Alright. You want to go ahead and save this file on your desktop. I'm going to save mine as demo class. And I'm going to show you how to open it up in Insight 360 to upload your class roster. Now that we have saved the class list, I put it as demo class right here in my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and open up Insight 360. Once you're on there, you want to click on My Classes tab right here at the top. Now I already have my classes in the gradebook system, but I want to show you how to add the demo class. So first of all, before you add the students, you have to create the class. So we're going to add a class by clicking the green plus sign right here. And we're just going to name it demo class. And we'll just say it's section 6, and we'll make up 6 period. And we'll say The start time is after hours. It's nice if you actually put the actual start time and end time of the class, because it will sync with um, the software. So if you open up another software program or something, or open up Insight 360 to use like the wireless slate, it'll actually tell automatically what class you are teaching to and sync the clicker numbers and everything just based on the time frame. You can manually override it, but it's just kind of nice, something that it will do for you. And you'll want to put the start and the end dates in there also. Um, so there is the demo class that shows up right away. Next, you want to import some students. You can add or remove students right here by clicking this tab, but that's individually, and that would take forever. So we're going to go ahead and just put import from CSV up here at the top. We're going to go ahead and click start the import. What class do we want to load classes, load the students to? Is the demo class. Go ahead and click next. Next, it's going to ask you where to import the file from. We're going to have to find that file that I saved to my desktop called demo class when I made that class roster in Skyward. And right here it is. So I'm going to go ahead and double click that. Click next. Now, this is why we deleted everything up top. If we didn't delete all that stuff up top, it'd be all messed up, and you would have to tell it how many rows down we wanted to start. But since we deleted all that, we can go ahead and just put in, this is the last names of the students, this is the first names, and this is their student IDs. Go ahead and click next, and boom. There is the students along with their student IDs. Now these students' names are just made up, and same with their student IDs. That's why the class is so small. But we're going to go ahead and push import. Alright, and you're done. Alright, if you go back to classes, you look at demo class. Right there is your students that are in there that we just imported. You can add or remove students if someone gets dropped, or if someone gets added. Especially seems like counselors like to throw in more students after the first couple of weeks, or take students away. You can also edit the class by right here. Alright. The sticker ID over here on the right hand side, that's the clicker number that corresponds with them, which is going to be in another tutorial how to use the clickers and everything else. This is just how to set up a class roster. But I will tell you now, since you're kind of working on this, is the sticker ID number. Alright, a lot of our clickers start with 1 and they go through 35, but some of you may have a set that starts with a different number, or vice versa, or a clicker's dead so you want to change what number they use. You can just go manually and type that in. But if you type this little gear thing up here where it says My Settings, and click on the Preferences tab, you can start with a different clicker number if you wanted to. Let's say some of our clickers start with 71. I know you could type in 71, and it would start numbering the students at that number. But there you go. That's it. Remember just to follow it step by step. First, you have to create the class, then import the students, and save it. Run those reports in Skyward to save you a ton of time. You can add them one by one as I showed you, but that would take forever. So I hope you can use this in your classrooms and get your class rosters loaded and use this time to do so. If you have any further questions, you can shoot me an email or come and see me in my room. Thank you.